Hi, everyone. Okay, so today is one of those, or rather, we're going to be having one of those chats where it is about recognizing our role in the journey that we've always dreamed of. See what I'm doing there? I'm trying to kind of picture it in my head. This is what happens when you're someone that doesn't quite work with a script. I suppose if I did that, then you're gonna get the different sort of jumping in stages of the video. But my brain works differently. Maybe because I just spend a lot of time thinking, which over time is taking a bit of time, but we've been able to get there. And I think if that's you, it's important to know that you're not alone. Embracing the person that you are takes a lot of guts and courage. The reason I say that is because you're going to face a lot of resistance. A lot of resistance because you don't quite fit the norm. You don't fit into the script that has been created by society. Society expects you to talk very fast, not spend a lot of time thinking too much. I say this because if we follow the trend that we've got at the moment, then we should be considered as outcast because you're too slow and I think words that have been used before is boring. But that's okay. It's okay to embrace your boringness because it just means that you are not for that person that's listening. Your audience is different. This is the reason I believe that we have different people of different color and culture and tribes and religion. People of different sizes and shapes. Short, tall, thin, whatever size you are. People of different understanding, people of different sort of educational background. People choosing to be doctors, others choosing to be social workers, others choosing to be psychologists. If we all are medical doctors, who will deal with the psychological impacts or the social struggles? If we're all politicians, who would educate us? If we're all social workers, who would address the criminal aspect of society? Because we need law and order. The reason I titled this Our Journey is because for a lot of us, we're carried away by what's happening by, or rather what's happening to the people around us. My neighbor has just bought a Lamborghini. Your neighbor has just bought a house. They're building the next mansion and they're telling you everything about it. Or you're doing really well and you're talking to your neighbor about it, and all you get is envy and resentment, and you can't seem to understand why this is. The reason this is because the person is struggling to see the differences between the both of you. And as a result, there's that comparison. And the comparison is one that is fueled by hatred. Because if it was a comparison that was fueled by a genuine interest to learn, a hunger to understand, then that envy would be turned on its head, and it would be one of pride and hope. Pride in the sense that they're proud of your achievement. Hope because they know that the dream that they have got, what they're seeing, is that it's achievable. It is achievable because the people around them are achieving great things, and by associating with people that have achieved and showing a desire to want to learn, it opens you up and them up to grow. Envy and jealousy only leads to one thing: destruction and hurt. Destruction because what the seed that planted is one that is seeking to bring the other person down. So it's one of manipulation and one of seeking to cause pain. And sometimes the person that ends up getting hurt is not necessarily the one that you've set out to hurt, but also you, because what you're not focusing on at that time is the dreams and aspirations that you have got. Instead, you've packed it up, locked it up in that garage, and somehow you've lost the keys. The keys are those continued hope, the continued desire to keep pursuing it. But instead, your attention is devoted to scheming and conniving to cause pain to somebody that's done absolutely nothing to deserve it. I suppose an argument for this could be that yes, maybe somebody has caused you harm. Maybe somebody has caused you pain. And yes, they do deserve it. But my question would be, that is all that time you're devoting to punish or get back that revenge. Is it worth it? Because in order to be able to get back that revenge, you would have to fill yourself up with so much hate. It's like a car when you top it up with gasoline. When you start driving, it has to run through different parts of the engine to get it working. And that's what that does. That height that you have to feel yourself in literally has to crawl through every part of you, because when you see that person, it reignites that. It's like pushing on the pedal, and it reignites that. So the person becomes your pedal. Who's controlling who? Our journey is one that we need to make sure that we've got control over. But if we're being controlled by somebody else, the journey is no longer yours. I remember somebody using this analogy that maybe we should see our life as going into a casino for people that have played or I'm trying to, what's the game? Is it roulette? For people that have played the roulette, you have to hand out chips. Now imagine if you've been given a set amount of chips, and those chips represent a certain amount of time through your life. For every chip that you put down, the recognition that you would never be able to get that chip back, and the decision you make at that point in time is going to go a long way into affecting the way that your life is shaped. Now think about it. If you've only got a set amount of chips, and for every chip you place, that's the time that you've got left. Knowing that, what would you do differently? Would your choice be one of seeking vengeance, or instead one of seeking to make the best of the time that you've got? And if the answer is the latter, maybe we need to change our mindset into one of recognizing that our time is finite, and we need to look at it differently. Our journey is that we need to be careful of who we've got around us. Just as we can have people that can bring us down, it is important that we also have people that can bring us up. And we need to start with ourselves being our own hype man or woman. Because if we do that, our ability to achieve our set goals, the chances increases. But of course, it's going to take time. And I think it's about being patient enough to recognize that we will need time to get there. As we go to sleep tonight, what is the option that we're giving ourselves? Until next time, people, have a good night.